So again, we decorate this function with the function attribute and the name of the function. In this case, it's process invoice. We have a run method. We have input binding, which is triggered whenever a blob or a file lands in this specific container. So invoices is a container over here, and name is the variable, which is the name of the blob or name of the file that gets uploaded into this particular container of the blob storage. Then it's read as a stream. So that's the input file. So the type is stream, and whatever information of the file or the file content itself is serialized into this stream parameter or object called input file by the Azure runtime. In this case, you have specified an output binding. Again, the output binding is again a blob, a different blob. It's writing into a different container with the same file name as it received it. So here we specify the connection. It could be a different connection even in the trigger and the output binding. So this connection can be same, or it can be a different connection, meaning it could be different storage account from where the input files are uploaded, and it could be a different storage account where we write the processed file, in this case the output. Again, the type is stream, and the output is serialized with in this output parameter, which is called the output file, and it's the stream content. The logic is pretty simple. We are taking whatever the file content is. Once it's returned to this container, we just copy that to the output file object, and rest is taken care by the Azure runtime. So you don't have to write any other code to mention that, this is what you have to do, or this is what you have to connect to, or this is where you have to stream it to, or whatever. The Azure runtime, with just this declaration as the output binding, does all the magic behind the scenes. The only thing it needs is the connection string to the input trigger and the connection string of the storage account for the different blob. If you want to visualize it, the input is a blob. That's what triggers the Azure function. So that's the scenario that we're discussing. Whenever a file lands in this Azure blob storage, which is specified by this particular connection and into this container called invoices container, that's when this function is triggered. So the blob trigger wakes up the Azure function. The Azure function runtime opens the stream. It reads contents and metadata of the file that's just uploaded onto the specific container of the specific storage account, and it also creates the context. Here you can see the function context. And then the input binding, which is the stream or file, is the input blob. So that's what is being read. The Azure runtime takes care of binding that as well. And then you have your function logic. In this case, it's pretty simple. You just copy the input file to the output file, which is again the file that is expected to be returned to another blob specified by this particular connection string and into this specified container, which is processed container.